They were killing him. And his last words weren't revenge. They were, "Forgive them. They don't know what they're doing." Around 30 AD, in Jerusalem, a man was being executed by the Roman Empire, nailed to a cross, beaten, mocked, dying slowly. He had every reason to curse his killers, to demand justice, to wish them suffering. That's what anyone would do. But Jesus did something that changed human history. He forgave them. Not after they apologized, not after they showed remorse, while they were actively killing him. And in that moment, he revealed something most people still don't understand. That forgiveness isn't about the other person, it's about you. That holding on to anger and resentment hurts you more than it hurts them. And that letting go isn't weakness. It's the most powerful thing you can do. Here's what people get wrong about forgiveness. They think it means excusing what someone did, saying it's okay, letting them off the hook. So they refuse to forgive because they think that would make them weak, would mean the other person wins, would be like saying the harm they caused doesn't matter. But that's not what forgiveness is, not even close. Forgiveness is releasing your need for revenge, letting go of the bitterness that's eating you alive, choosing to stop carrying the weight of what someone did to you. It doesn't mean what they did was okay. Doesn't mean there shouldn't be consequences. Doesn't mean you have to trust them or let them back into your life. It just means you're done letting their actions poison your present. Jesus understood this deeply. He taught forgiveness constantly, not because he was naive about human nature, not because he thought everyone was basically good, but because he saw what unforgiveness does to people, how it turns them bitter, how it traps them in the past, how it gives power to the person who hurt them, and he offered a way out. Someone asked him how many times you should forgive someone. 7 times. Jesus said no. 70 times 7. Basically, stop counting. Stop keeping score. Because the scorekeeping itself is what's hurting you. Every time you replay what they did. Every time you rehearse your resentment. Every time you fantasize about revenge, you're not hurting them, you're hurting yourself. There's this moment where Jesus tells a story about a servant who owed a massive debt, impossible to pay back. The master forgave the entire debt, just wiped it out. The servant was free, but then that same servant found someone who owed him a tiny amount, and he had him thrown in prison for not paying. When the master heard about it, he was furious, because the servant didn't understand what he'd been given. He'd been forgiven everything but wouldn't forgive a little. What's Jesus teaching? That you've been forgiven for plenty. You've made mistakes, hurt people, done things you regret, and life went on. People moved past it. You got second chances. So who are you to hold on to resentment when someone wrongs you? You're not perfect either. You need forgiveness too. So give what you've been given. But here's the deeper truth. Unforgiveness is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. That's not Jesus's exact words, but it captures his teaching perfectly. When you refuse to forgive, when you hold on to anger and bitterness, who suffers? Not them. They're living their life, probably not even thinking about you. But you're consumed by it, replaying the hurt, imagining revenge, letting it rot inside you. That's not justice. That's self-destruction. Jesus taught that forgiveness breaks that cycle. It doesn't mean you forget what happened. Doesn't mean you're stupid enough to let it happen again. It means you refuse to let it control you anymore. You acknowledge what happened. You protect yourself from it happening again if needed, but you release the emotional grip it has on you. And that release is freedom. He practiced what he preached. When Peter denied knowing him 3 times in his darkest hour, did Jesus hold a grudge? No. After resurrection, he sought Peter out, forgave him, restored him. When the people crucifying him mocked him, did he curse them? No. He asked his Father to forgive them, because they didn't understand what they were doing. That's not weakness, that's strength. Because it takes way more strength to forgive than to stay angry. Staying angry is easy. It feels justified, it feels powerful, but it's actually the path of least resistance. Forgiveness requires strength. Requires you to let go of being right, let go of your claim to revenge, let go of the satisfaction of seeing them suffer. That's hard. That's real power. Now let's talk about why this matters for you. Because you're probably holding on to something right now. Someone who hurt you, betrayed you, wronged you, and you haven't forgiven them. Maybe it's been years, maybe decades, and you think you're punishing them by not forgiving, but you're only punishing yourself. Think about how much mental energy you spend on this person, how often they come to mind, how the anger resurfaces, how it affects your mood, your relationships, your peace. They probably don't even know you're still carrying this. They've moved on, but you haven't. And every day you don't forgive is another day they control you without even being present. Jesus would tell you to let it go. Not for them, for you. Because you deserve to be free from this. You deserve peace. And you can't have peace while you're chained to resentment. The only way to break the chain is forgiveness. But how? How do you forgive someone who hasn't apologized? Who isn't sorry? Who maybe doesn't even think they did anything wrong? Here's the answer Jesus gives. You forgive them for your sake, not theirs. You make a choice to release the debt they owe you, to stop expecting them to make it right, to accept that you may never get the apology or acknowledgement you deserve. And you let go anyway. This is hard. Maybe the hardest thing, because it feels like they're getting away with it. But here's what you have to understand. Their debt to you isn't your responsibility to collect. If there's justice to be had, that's not your job. Your job is to free yourself from the prison of bitterness. And the key to that prison is in your hand. It's called forgiveness. Jesus also taught that unforgiveness blocks you from receiving forgiveness. He said, if you don't forgive others, you won't be forgiven. Why? Because unforgiveness hardens your heart, makes you judgmental, makes you think you're better than others. And when your heart is hard like that, you can't receive grace. Can't admit your own need for forgiveness. Can't be humble enough to accept that you mess up too. But when you forgive others, you soften. You remember you're human too. You make mistakes too. You need grace too. And that humility opens you up to healing, to growth, to becoming better. Here's another key point. Forgiveness doesn't require reconciliation. You can forgive someone and still maintain boundaries, still keep distance, still protect yourself. Forgiveness is internal. It's about releasing your anger. Reconciliation is external. It's about restoring relationship. And that requires both people. You can control forgiveness. You can't control reconciliation. So if someone hurt you deeply, you can forgive them and still decide they don't get access to you anymore. That's not unforgiveness, that's wisdom. You're releasing the bitterness but maintaining healthy boundaries. Jesus forgave everyone, but he didn't trust everyone. He kept certain people at a distance. He was forgiving, but not stupid. Let's get practical. If you want to practice forgiveness, start here. Think of someone you need to forgive. Say it out loud if you have to. I forgive them for what they did. I release my need for revenge. I let go of my claim to make them pay. I free myself from this bitterness. You might not feel it immediately. That's okay. Forgiveness is a decision first, a feeling later. You decide to forgive. Then over time, as you stop rehearsing the hurt, as you stop feeding the anger, the feeling follows. The weight lifts, the peace comes, but it starts with a choice. Also, forgive yourself. This is huge. Most people are harder on themselves than anyone else. You made mistakes. You hurt people. You failed. Join the club. Everyone has. Beating yourself up doesn't fix anything. It just keeps you stuck in shame. Jesus taught that you're forgiven. So accept it. Forgive yourself. Learn from your mistakes, but don't live in them. Jesus' final act was forgiveness. Not revenge, not justice. Forgiveness, while dying, while being mocked, while experiencing the worst humanity could do to him. He chose forgiveness, and that choice changed everything. Because it showed that forgiveness is possible even in the worst circumstances. Even when you have every right to be angry. Even when no apology is coming. If he could forgive from a cross, you can forgive from wherever you are. Whatever happened to you, however deep the wound, forgiveness is possible. Not easy, but possible. And necessary. Because staying in unforgiveness is a slow death. It kills your joy, your peace, your ability to love and be loved. Forgiveness sets you free. Not them, you. And that freedom is worth more than any revenge could ever give you. Because revenge keeps you connected to your hurt. But forgiveness releases you from it. You get your life back. Your energy back. Your peace back. Jesus knew this 2,000 years ago, and it's still true today. Forgiveness isn't weakness, it's the strongest thing you can do. It's choosing freedom over bitterness, peace over revenge, your future over your past. That's power. Real power. So the question is, who do you need to forgive, and what's stopping you? Because every day you wait is another day you carry weight you don't have to carry. Put it down, forgive. Not for them, for you. And watch how much lighter life becomes when you stop dragging the past behind you. Subscribe for more timeless truth.